Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in a bid to actually increase the quality of what I'm producing within this YouTube and a little bit on Twitch, I'm going to start trying to do a bit more commentary videos and a bit more sort of explanation on how to play Resto, Shaman in TBC, things that you can do to improve personally on multiple classes. And to begin with that, I'm going to start today by looking at a technique called fake casting. So fake casting is something that every single caster class really should learn to do. It's a very important technique and it's a fantastic technique, and if you can get it down and master it, then apart from feeling like a complete god when you do it, it actually makes winning a hell of a lot easier. So what is it? Essentially, fake casting is forcing your or tricking your opponent to use their interrupt when you're not actually casting. The way it works is very akin to what we would call a dummy or a fake within traditional sport, where you might dribble the ball in one direction, allowing the defender to assume you're going to go in that direction, and then you quickly change. And because of this, because you know it's going to happen, you can react much quicker than they can, because they don't know it's going to happen. So they go off to their left, thinking you're going to go that way, and you quickly change to the right, and then you dribble the ball to the right, dribbling it past them. Principle is exactly the same for fake casting. What you're going to do, essentially, is you'll begin a cast. They will go, right, he's casting a spell, I'm going to interrupt that, but you then cancel the cast, stopping it. Their brain won't be able to react fast enough to that, and their fingers will still be going, I'm going to press my bind to hit pummel or hit counterspell, and rather than hitting your cast and school locking you for 6 seconds or however long it is depending on the interrupt, they actually hit nothing, your school isn't locked, and then you can just instantly start recasting. So that's it in its essence, and that's it in its core. So how do you actually go about achieving this? Well, there's several ways of cancelling your casts. The very simplistic way of doing it is simply moving. The worst way of doing it is jumping. Neither of these is perfect and probably not what I would advise. The reason being, when you jump, obviously you have air time, and when you're in the air, you can't cast. So you actually end up losing, maybe half a second or a second of actual cast time because you're still in the air. Making, despite the fact that they might have not interrupted you, they've still slowed down your casting. Now moving, again, you have a bit of actual time physically moving, but it's not quite the same as the air time, it's not as long. But the downside to this is if you're immobilized, then obviously you can't move. So it's quite bad practice to get into the habit of being like, right, I'm just going to move to cancel my cast. If you're then stuck in a Frost Nova and you're casting and you're like, I'm going to press A to cancel my cast, you can't. You're still keep casting, you won't fake it, and you might get hit by a counter spell. So the easiest or the best way of doing it is to create a macro, put up on the screen now. It's really simple, slash stop casting, at least in TBC. It's slightly different in vanilla, but I won't go into that. And then bind this macro. Personally, I actually have it bound to shift spacebar, just because it's a bit of a weird bind, but it was also very easy to use, very accessible, and your fingers are basically always there. And you're sort of used to jumping anyway, so it's quite a natural bind to hit if you want to be cancelling your casts. So once you've got that set up, all you then have to do is sort of get used to it. What I personally find is that spell alert add-ons, so spell alert is one I use, and then afflicted shows cooldowns as well. These two add-ons, we'll see it later in play. The reason I like these two add-ons is because it actually allows me to be sure that the interrupt has been used, and I can track when the interrupts are available as well. Because something like pummel obviously doesn't really have a massive animation unless you really understand exactly every single, race combination that can play warrior, and the animations of a pummel, they're all different for every single race, and you need to be looking at the character to see that, etc, etc. It's much easier just to have a little icon that will flag up in the middle of your screen with a pummel icon. It says pummel, and right, that's been used, I faked, I can now go back to casting. So that's the very simplistic form of it. I'm not going to go in beyond that. There are a lot of nuances to fake casting, and I think that's part of the fun of it. And explore for yourselves, learn. Everybody is different. This is one of the things you'll learn is the way people interrupt you and the way you have to therefore adapt your fake casting, maybe you have to fake cast a little bit longer to sort of sell the idea to them, or maybe they're really, really ready for it, so you only have to cast a half second. But in the following footage, you're going to see a lot of interrupts. So the following footage is 2v2 with me playing Resto Shaman and a Warlock versus Warlock Rogue multiple times. Warlock Rogue has an insane amount of interrupts. There is a lot of fake casting, and that's the reason I'm using this footage, is because there's no, just because you fake cast the kick doesn't mean you fake cast the spell lock. And just because you got the spell lock done and the kick, then they can run out of range and deadly throw you. So you've got a layer after layer after layer of things you have to keep faking, 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 faking. And you hear that in my voice as well, just faking, cast, fake cast, fake cast, fake it. And until you've got this sort of, all of those out the way, you can't really start casting, and you've just got to keep faking. And that's a bit of a skill that you need to learn over time. So I hope you enjoy the footage. I will, as I said, attempt to do a bit more commentary and cluster some videos, a bit more common sense together. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.
In combat.
Rogue's out. Got him.
Got him. He's dotted.
Where's the cloak? Come on. Where's the cloak?
I'm gonna fear him. Let's get the cloak.
I mean, there's no point saving your cloak if you're gonna die anyway. Shock that.
Okay, he's gonna cloak now. Lock is feared. Where's that rogue?
Rogue on me now. He's out. He's out me. He's popped his south lock.
I'm gonna howl here.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna. This game's over. It was won already.
I'm blinded full.
Faked his kick. Faked his oh, they're all fucking faked. I'm not gonna repeat myself. I'm free casting.
Rogue will die from dots. I'm focusing on the lock now. But sorry about that. I panic trinketed if you won't get tapped.
Yeah, Rogue on me now.
During lock. I'm CS.
Gonna last this season. I'm out.
During rogue. Coiling rogue.
Okay.
Fearing.
Casting because you coiled him.
Rogue kicked me.
Yep, casting. Ah, kidney.
I'm gonna fear that lock ASAP. Feared. Look at it. Spelled myself.
Faked. Health walking.
There's cloak. Cloak is CS.
I'm gonna trinket the next kidney. Faked.
Okay, rogue will die from these dots. Focusing on lock.
Oh my god.
Okay, we got this, we got this. Rogue is dead already, practically.
Okay.
I'm going right. I'm sapped. Rogue is right behind me.
Yeah, I almost got him, but didn't quite. Gonna last as soon as this is out.
Resapped me. Lock is CS. Dotting rogue, fearing rogue. I'm dead. Coiling.
Casting.
Fearing.
I'm coiled.
He vanished. He vanished and couldn't restun. Trinketing blind.
Are you serious?
Fine, you're fine. Fearing lock now.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Oh, I'm blinded. Fuck, man. Blanket silence lock.
Faked them.
I'm howling here. Got them both. That's winning for us.
Faked them. Faked. Oh,
Fearing rogue again.
so hit me.